Hello, good morning. I am in Nashville this week. So I know last week I was in Hilton Head, and this week we are in Nashville for our Profit First Mastery meetup. So super excited to be here and meet up with all my peers this week. I'm sure that you can relate that when you meet up with other people that are in your industry, it's a major boost and it's just a real time of encouragement and learning. So excited to be here, but wanted to get on and do this training. I totally forgot that I was in Central Time this week. And then I'll be honest, I forgot it was Wednesday as well. You know what it's like when you're at a conference and days just kind of like you mold into each other. So, but anyway, we're here now. So let's jump straight in. So this week we are talking about financial statements and how important they are and how often should you be looking at them. That's something that a lot of business owners don't look at them, or they wait until the end of the year. But is that something that you should be looking at every single month, every quarter? So let's jump in. So my name's Kerry Postal. I have the privilege of owning Abacus Business Solutions, and we have been serving businesses for over 10 years and helping them to know, understand, and trust their numbers. And those are three critical words that we often use: know, understand, and trust. Those three need to go hand in hand when you're looking at your financial statements. So this week, looking at those top 3 financial statements that you as a business owner need to be looking at so that you can help grow your business and understand exactly where your business is at and what you need to do to improve it. So the bottom line is that you need to keep accurate records. That's just a given. That's something that no one can argue with. Accurate records are critical. So when you have accurate records, you're going to be able to price your product or your service more accurately. You're going to know if you're making or losing money. I mean, that is so critical when you are in business and you started your business to make money, right? Like I always say, in 10 years, I have not met one business owner that does not want to make more money. Improve your, call it standard of living, and to improve the standard of living of those working with you as well. Cash flow. Cash flow is something that gets overlooked because everyone is just looking at the bank balance. They're checking their phones every 5 minutes to see if that check deposited, did that payment go out, and that's how they're running their business. Cell phones are great for communication and for keeping in touch with everyone, but at the same time, it also can into that bad habit, maybe not, depending on how you set up your banks, as to checking it every 5 minutes. And when you've got one bank account and it's all lumped into one, then that can be a real issue. And you know that I'm a huge proponent of Profit First. That is something that we do in our business, and it can help every business owner as well. Okay, so the important thing is to don't let your financial statements intimidate you. It is something that is just part of doing business. Just as you need sales to do business, you need cash flow to do business, you need to understand your financial information as well. Need to be looking at on a regular basis. And I always say to people, you should be looking at them monthly. And the reason we say monthly is because if there is something going on in your business that's not working, maybe you're losing money and you need to do something about that. Maybe you have an expense that is too high and you don't realize it. If you're not looking at your financial statements until the end of the quarter, then that's 3 months that have gone by with that same issue. If you're looking at them monthly, then you can correct that issue right there and then and stop it happening for the next 2 months. So that's why I'm a huge proponent of looking at your financial statements monthly. It's critical to help you grow your business. So first financial statement is the balance sheet. And I know this is a statement that intimidates a lot of business owners because they don't understand what it's telling them. Just been working with a business owner recently. They've been in business for 4 years, and not one time has a CPA or their bookkeeper or any accounting professional that they have been working with explained what the balance sheet means to them. They had no idea what it was telling them. So we spent 45 minutes going through that, and they're like, okay, now that makes sense. Now I feel like I understand a lot better what that report is telling me and why it's important to look at it. So your balance sheet is outlining your business assets. So your current assets are those that are cash or can be converted into cash within 1 year. So you've got things like your accounts receivable, your inventory, prepaid expenses, those kinds of things where you can it's an asset to your business because it can become. Those are the property equipment that your business owns. So if in the construction industry, you've got trucks, you've got trailers, you've got different types of construction equipment that you're using on your jobs. if you're in a service-based business, you may have office furniture, computers, photocopier, those kinds of things as well that are also fixed assets. So why is it called a balance sheet? So balance means that the left side always has to equal the right side, debits and credits that we call them in the industry. And if they don't equal, then you've made a mistake. It's true. I'm sorry. You can't put it any other way. It is what it is. So the next financial statement is the income statement. So, some people call it the profit and loss, and it's used to track your sales and your expenses. And then the difference between the two is your net profit. So when you are you're looking at your profit and loss, it is for a period of time. So it might be for a month, for a week, for a year, for a quarter. You're looking at a period of time of what your sales were and what your expenses were. Your balance sheet is a snapshot in time, and I always reference as that you're taking a photo. That for that split second when you take that photo, that's where your business is at. Because 5 minutes later, a check may have cleared your bank, which then means the bank balance is different, and then that means your balance sheet is now showing you some different information. So your balance sheet is that snapshot in time. Your profit and loss is looking over a period of time, telling you what your sales were and what your expenses were. So it's important that you look at this and go through it line item by line item, because with your expenses, that's where those hidden expenses get lost, and you just don't realize that those expenses are there, and you just keep paying them every single month without realizing, like, okay, we're not using that subscription anymore. We're not using that piece of software. There's so many different things. So keep an eye on that profit and loss, because that can have a huge impact on your cash flow and on the profitability of your business. Okay, and then the third financial statement is the cash flow statement. And this is one that gets overlooked a lot. I know that some people think that the QuickBooks report, cash flow report, is not that great. It's confusing. And I'll be honest, I have to agree. So what I like to tell my clients is that we have this cash flow spreadsheet that we help our clients to use. So that way they can see what's the beginning cash balance at the beginning of the week or the month, depending on how frequently they update it. What's all the cash inflows, so the deposits, the sales coming in, your outflows, your expenses, what's leaving those bank accounts, and then what is your ending balance. And we help our clients to do every single week for the most part, because that way you can plan your cash flow. You can be looking ahead and anticipating what sales you're expecting to come in. You know the expenses that are going out for the most part. You know your rent is due on the 1st of the month, so get that plugged in on the 1st of every single month. And you can be then looking ahead and seeing, okay, we're going to have an issue this week if we don't collect enough money to pay these bills. Some companies always have one week that's just heavy on expenses. Maybe it's a payroll week and it's a rent week, and you need to be prepared for that in advance. And that's one of the reasons as well, we love Profit First, because you've got your designated bank accounts that can help you prepare for those expenses, so you don't get caught out when payroll's suddenly due and you don't have that money in the bank. So hopefully you can see how those three financial statements are super important and critical to understanding your business's financial position now, and then your financial position in the future as well. So make sure that you're looking at those three reports, making sure you're understanding them. If you're struggling with any of those, then put a comment below, send me a private message. I would love to chat with you, and we can just see what's going on, what are your struggles, what's stressing you out, what's confusing you. Because this can be confusing. I totally get it. We do this every single day. This is what we do. But your industry isn't in accounting and bookkeeping. Your industry is something else, because that's where your strength is. So don't beat yourself up because you don't understand these reports. It's perfectly okay to be able, to ask for help. I always refer back to, I'm not an electrician. If I needed work done in my house, I'm going to call a professional to help me with that. I'm great at accounting, bookkeeping, numbers. I'm not an electrician. So always seek out those people that have that strength, that have that ability in that industry to help you to be able to understand your business financial position. So set aside time every single month to review those reports. Make sure you know exactly what's going on in your business, and time block it. 15th of the month, time block an hour to sit down and look at those reports. Make it a priority in your business. So if you don't have support in this area in your business, if this is something where you don't get your financial reports by a certain date, or you don't get your financial reports period until you sit down and do them, then reach out to us. This is something that we can help you with. This is how we help our clients to grow their businesses, have more cash in the bank, increase their profitability, because they know their numbers. And it's super critical that you know your numbers too as a business owner. So if there's a way that we can support you, help you, encourage you, jump on a call with me. There is no commitment at that point, it's just a conversation. So let us see how we can help you to grow your business and take it to the next level. So remember, you need to know, understand, and trust your numbers.